Now I'm west of West Virginia, moving on through Tennessee, and the miles of misty memories back to 1953.
Here we are.
Daniel, I've been around here a long time. All they think about anymore is dope. Dope and a damn telephone. I heard these women say, well, what did you do before they had a telephone? What did people do? I said, I'll tell you what they done without. We didn't have no power in here in 49. You know, and that coal bank took care of everything. That water was about 56 degrees. Oh yeah, that's what that is out there. It comes out of a mountain out there where I drank, 56 degrees. I'm gonna put this wrong. Maybe it won't run no more, I won't have to cut.
It was a 4-room house that we grew up in. No indoor plumbing, no central heat. So we'd have to carry water from the old abandoned coal mine. We'd have to have carry coal in, so we'd have heat during the daytime at home for Mom, you know, because Dad was working day shift. This is where I went to school. I went through the 4th grade here. When I started school, I could count to 10, and I didn't even know my ABCs. This is where we got our drinking water. It was an enclosed little building, had an old manual pump in it, and right back over here was the boys' outside toilet. And over on the other side of the church, the girls' toilet was over there. On the inside, we had about a 5-gallon stone water cooler. And we all had to bring our own drinking cups from home. There was no refrigerator. We had to bring our own lunches, bagged lunches. In the middle, there was a potbelly stove. The 1st and 6th grade was on the outside of that. 2nd and 5th was on the inner side. And the 3rd and the 4th was closest to the stove. So whoever was closest to the stove was always hot, and whoever was on the outside was always cold. And there was a big blackboard that ran all the way across the back of the wall. My last year here was 1965-66 school year, and Miss Verna Hudnall, she was the teacher. She taught for the 3rd and the 4th grade here. In the last year there was 26 students, 13 boys and 13 girls. I think there was like 5 of us that started in the 1st grade, and only 2 of us graduated high school. The road and the creek ran together, and you were in and out of the creek like 15, 20 times between here and the mouth of the hollow, which is about 2 miles down the road. So sometimes you was walking in the creek and trying to get up on the side of the road so you wouldn't be in the water. And when it rained, it was muddy, so you had to try to stay out of the mud. The path used to come down from the old road, come through the side here, and you had to jump the creek even to get to school. It was a pretty good jump for 1st graders. Education here, it wasn't a priority. You know, it's just the way it was. And when they got out of 6th grade here, the kids had to walk from where we lived up the hollow ways. It was 2 miles, and it was through the woods on a path to catch the school bus. And before that, they used to walk across that mountain and catch a train and go to a place called Quick, Quick High School. It's down next to Charleston somewhere. So it was a long day for kids going to school.
Daddy moved to Cincinnati, spent his life on the factory line, but we never left West Virginia in our hearts and in our minds. You better get your things in order, that's what the doctor said. But I won't spend my final hours in some cold and lonely bed. Now I'm west of West Virginia, moving on through Tennessee, and the miles of misty memories back to 1953.
When we was kids, until Dad put water in the house, that was after I left home in 1974, there's an abandoned coal mine right out here to the left of us. We used to have to carry water up this hill, and we would, Saturday was wash day, we carried water all day long in 2-gallon zinc buckets.
There's the well beside the garden where my daddy plowed the rows, and I drew the sparkling water. How many times, nobody knows. There's a field where Bobby Baker fought for the hand of Ellen Black. I didn't know when he enlisted that he wasn't coming back. Now I'm west of West Virginia, moving on through Tennessee, and the miles of misty memories back to 1953.
When did you move here?
I've been here all my life. I was born here,
Where were you born at?
right down there in that old house. October the 14th, 1933. When I come up, it was in the Hoover's time. You couldn't get nothing to eat. These people down there now, they don't know what hard time was. If you didn't raise it, you didn't get it because there wasn't no work. And nobody had no money to buy stuff with. You raised all your food, you raised corn and stuff for the cattle. We had 2 milk cows, and we had the chickens, and 2 hogs. So we had our meat, milk and butter, and eggs. No power. Right there where that water comes out, we used to go inside there. And we had that water dammed up about that thick, and that's where the milk stayed in there.
Keep it cool in there?
Kept it cool, and about twice a week we had to churn. We had our own butter. You know, we had your potatoes, we raised them. You had your onions, they hung in the barn loft when you pulled them. Big old onions. Raised the beets, Mommy canned the beets. And the green beans, she used to can 2 tubs of green beans down there in that yard. Put out a washer and cook 3 meals in a day.
Wow.
I'm talking about the washer with that little hand washboard you done like this. You know, so, yeah, this was like the end of 48, 49, and 50. There was 3 mines around over there. High Vein Coal Company was one of them. Irvin Hill had 2 mines. LeRoy cut posts for them. And he hired me to drive a horse and help bust the post. We put 400 a day on that stack. We worked 5 days and a half. He'd give me $18, and I'd bring it right down there and give it to Mommy.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You had to have something to buy groceries with, but $18 is like $100 now, maybe even a little more, you know. Let's go.
Oh,
I ain't got the saddle down here. Put it on. You can't buy these caps. These is like the late 40s, 50s, and 60s. You can see where the slate broke all that rim off, and that's where your light holder, the line was passing on to come across your head. These is a low crown. That's the reason everybody wanted them. I don't never bothered. That's probably the first time it's been touched in 10 years. I was covered up with this cap on. Passed down in, they had me mashed down in beside that big loader. They had my head mashed between my legs. It busted my clothes. My chest turned yellow first, and then it turned green. That's the reason my neck cracks. And so, oh yeah, it sounds like broken glass down it from where that done it. Oh yeah, it was for, what, 2 weeks I couldn't get my hands up to feed myself. Oh yeah, they had to put stuff in my mouth.
Dangerous work, huh?
That coal mine is. I worked right at 25 years for carbide. I missed 6 shifts in 25 years. I walked that loader up that thing 500 feet. I done it every day, walking up the ribs. They'd come in there and watch me. I said, it's just a gift. I liked it. I said, I like what I'm doing. I loved it.
This up here hasn't changed. You know, just a fence and more people. Yeah, we used to come up here every year and cut this all off. You know, not too many people take care of the cemetery anymore. There's some pretty old stones here. Dad may know who they are. I don't know who any of them were. Just no one knows who they are now. You know.
Yeah.
I remember that guy there, that Charles Roop. I can remember him. Uncle Larry, Dad's brother, he's buried right here.
Yeah, Uncle Larry taught me my first chords on the guitar.
Yeah. My grandpop and grandmother, they're buried here. When Papa died, I thought I lost my best friend I ever had. He let me drive his truck. I took care of him while he was sick. And I was only 16 and 17 years old at the time. My youngest brother, right here, he was born October 13th, 1964, and died Thanksgiving morning, 1964. I can still see my dad working with him, giving him CPR. I think that's when we started realizing death. I was 8 years old when he died. And then this is my other brother, John Allen. He got killed in a logging accident. That really devastated the whole family.
Oh, yeah.
It devastated Dad. Dad's still devastated from it. Some things you never get over.
Through the tears of my dear Jenny, the doctor softly said he's gone. Now I'm west of West Virginia, and I'm finally moving on.
I've heard you say before you wanted to leave home because you didn't want to be a coal miner or a logger.
Yeah.
And you know, your brother was a logger and he got killed, and over there is Bubby, who got killed in the mines. And he was your age, right?
Bubby was like a third cousin, second or third cousin. He got killed in a coal mine. Like I say, my brother, he got killed in a logger. I didn't want to be either one of those. I wanted to be 40 years old and able to breathe, because I seen my dad at 40 years old. He would cough and start coughing really bad, and he would spit and it would be black. And I'm like, that's not for me. I want to be able to breathe. Here I'm 62 and I can still breathe. I can breathe real good. I wanted to be a machinist and a welder, and that's the career I pursued, and there was no work here. You know, you seen you have to drive all the way to Charleston just to get a job. There's nothing along. What happened, you know, when the coal mines started going down, everything around here fed off the coal mines. When the coal mine industry started going down, everything else went. And
You almost go into the mines?
Nope. I was set up for an interview and job applications, but I just decided I wasn't going. I called Uncle Larry and Tom and them, talked to them, told them I was going to come up, and they said, well, come on, we'll make room for you. And they did. Plus, Mama kept coming down here every year telling us about this pretty little girl that lived across the street from them. And me and Bubby here and my younger brother Kenny, we were sitting up in the barn loft drinking homemade blackberry wine, which Dad didn't know anything about. And I told him, I'm going to go up there and date that little girl. And sure enough, I did. About 3 years later, we got married and we had 3 children. And got grandchildren now, too. But yeah, I never thought that would come to pass, but it did. Everybody kind of laughs when I tell them about that. But I did. I told them I'm going to go up there and date that little girl.